everyone. Welcome back to another Spill the Beans podcast. My name is Lester.
And I'm Paolo. I thought you were going to throw it to me immediately. Okay, so I'm here again. This is
Yes.
Paolo. I don't know how many episodes we already have or how many we've already shot, but let's just gauge it around between 12 to 20. We're around at that number. All right, so today we have a special guest. One of the topics that really make me nervous, two topics actually, no, Lester? I think that's makeup and fashion. So this time around, we have a special guest, the proprietor of Stylist of Sorts.
Yes.
So, Anne, we'll just ask you to look at your camera and then introduce yourself and the business you represent and what industry you're from.
Okay, my name is Bella-Arguelles, and I'm a personal stylist and the founder of Stylist of Sorts. That's my company. And basically, it started as a blog to market my services as a personal stylist. So, what's a personal stylist? It's actually someone who can help you curate your closet, perhaps clear it out, edit it out so that you can have a more concise wardrobe and it's easier for you to get dressed in the morning. And if needed, I also go shopping with you. So it's a very
Wow.
personalized service. But the brand I feel has evolved to so much more because now I also do workshops
Okay.
either on personal styling, and recently I just did my first corporate workshop, and that was very exciting to see how
Corporate workshop.
the ladies transformed.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was that was quite exciting. And I also do brand consultation. So I help brands with their content
Okay.
in social media. I also write blog posts for them. So yeah, it really has evolved into
I like that. The curator of closets. Tama ba yung pagka-pronounce ko? Ngayon ko lang
Yes.
narinig yun. Parang sa museum ko lang ata naririnig yun from before. So, and I have, just with that opening statement alone, I already have a lot of questions because
Okay.
I don't understand much of it.
Okay.
but I have a question. I noticed, because I also have nephews and nieces, parang mas fashionable yung generation ngayon compared to how, I don't know, our
our
generation.
generation.
Kasi parang puro baggy clothes lang back in the day. Di ba? Or baka, because you've always been fashionable. I don't know, baka for the layman who's just out to get the quickest best buy in the mall. Is this generation more fashionable now?
Well, definitely yes, because of social media. The internet is such a big factor because it used to be that we would get our references from magazines.
Yes.
So if you're not an avid reader or you don't have a budget to buy, because those magazines were quite pricey and they're all
Yes.
imported before,
Ah,
you really wouldn't have access to, what's trending abroad,
Okay.
especially in the main fashion capitals.
you brought up magazines before you have to buy. And just a professional background. Parang I recall that you also started out in a fashion magazine. Is that correct?
Actually, my styling career is going on 20 years next year.
Wow.
I started in publishing as a fashion editor
Okay.
in 17 magazine. That's under
Ah.
Summit Media. And then I moved to Preview, which is for the older market,
Okay.
but also a fashion magazine. Now, those titles are defunct. Just print is dead, they say.
They say.
But I don't believe it still exists in other countries. But here in the Philippines, we've moved on to digital.
Oo.
Yes.
Parang teddysage lang moving on to digital.
Yeah.
And aking mga inserts of shameless plugs. But
You're on the right track.
You're on the right track. Thank you. But you're saying that for fashion, is it just for fashion that print is now considered somewhat talagang sorry for the oxymoron, parang permanent hiatus na ang print for fashion? There's no more magazines.
Well, I don't think just for fashion. I think in even other industries, digital is really the way to go.
Okay.
And it's just how the world works nowadays. So
That's
I
true.
guess it's just going with the times. And I suppose budget-wise,
Yeah.
it didn't make sense to print
Yes.
out an
Yep.
issue
And-
every month.
Yeah.
You want to save the trees
That's
also.
true. That's true. Plus the overhead, ang laki na for magazines,
Yes,
no? And then you have to make up that overhead. So right now, kids mostly. Sorry, I had a quick question in my head. Summit is not. It's not around anymore. Summit
No,
Publishing.
Summit is still very much alive,
Okay.
but they're all digital. So all those titles, well, not all, but most of them have counterparts online. Like
Okay.
Review has one, and I believe Yes Magazine has one also. So
Okay. Okay.
it just transferred it just moved from print to digital.
Lester, let me know if I'm speaking too fast. I think I know now why I'm nervous. I think I had 3 ventis pala. I had
There you go.
I had 2 this morning. Okay, so going back. Magazines have now evolved more to the digital realm.
Mhm.
And you've moved to doing more of personalized service.
Yes.
How did it come about from your professional to being a proprietor or starting out your stylist of sorts?
Yes. Actually, one day around 2014,
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of how to approach my craft in a different medium.
Okay.
So I didn't want to go back to doing magazine work
Mm-hmm.
or working with celebrities. So I was thinking, how else can I use my skills
Okay.
to service people? And I thought that, well, celebrities have personal stylists. Why not regular people who
That's
I'm
true.
sure
Mm-hmm.
also have a lot of questions and don't know where to begin finding their own identities, like fashion-wise. And I guess it also came from the fact that people would often ask my opinion whenever they're shopping or whenever they're planning to go somewhere. What do they wear? How do they do their makeup
Gotcha.
and hair?
So
and
talagang default closet curator ka amongst all your friends.
I just sort of made it up. I don't think it's really an industry yet here,
Mhm.
but of course abroad it's been around. There's even like a digital counterpart of myself wherein you just order the clothes and they'll send you a box of curated items.
Wow.
Yeah. So but I prefer doing it
Mhm.
one-on-one still, so that I can really assess the client better and really see what suits them.
Okay, that's very interesting. Pwede rin palang app business to, ha? Pero before we get...
Pwede.
Pwede. No? Before we delve deeper into Stylist of Sorts and how you got started, what's, by definition, what is fashion? For our subscribers, the millennials, young millennials, sorry, Lester, old millennial ka na eh.
Yes.
Young millennials and the Gen Z, ano ba ang definition ng fashion?
Fashion is what you guys are wearing now, basically.
Really?
That is the statement that you're comfortable wearing and the image that you want to project. So fashion does not mean exclusively, you're wearing designer or you're wearing something that's out of the box. Of course, that's the literal definition.
Okay.
But everyone is fashionable in their own way, in their own right. Even though you're wearing, as you said earlier, your baggy pants and your baggy
Yes.
shirts of the 90s
Yes.
that we grew up with, that's
Yes.
still fashion. So, for as long as you are able to express yourself through clothing,
Okay.
that's the
fashion.
definition. Yes.
Is there a difference now when you say fashion and fashionable?
Fashionable, it's very relative.
Okay.
What I might think looks good on one person,
Mm-hmm.
you might not agree with. So it's very much like an art form. You know how looking at the painting, it doesn't appeal to everyone,
Okay.
but to certain people. So to be able to say someone is fashionable or not, well, we can get technical about it, but in my opinion, it really is dependent on
Subjective
who
talaga.
you're asking, and
Okay.
who's judging.
Okay. So fashion is technically whatever you wear.
Mm-hmm.
Fashionable really is the subjective part. Feeling ko
Yes.
kasi ngayon pag fashionable, kailangan naka-tight pants ka or because I see the pants now that are being sold
Especially for men. Like,
for
how do they
men.
breathe? No?
Exactly.
Sobrang
So
sikip.
so fashionable is something that I have difficulty grasping sometimes
Mhm.
because I do see the younger generation. I see my nephews now dressing up in very colorful shirts, which I wouldn't
Yes.
have the audacity trying out when I was younger. Are they more adventurous now when it comes to clothes?
Oh,
Has this
definitely more adventurous because they see it in real time. Like you can even watch fashion shows as it happens in New York or Paris. Excuse me. Just
okay.
so if you have access to the internet,
Mm-hmm.
it's so easy to get inspired.
Uh,
So of course they are more savvy. They have all these resources on hand.
that's true.
And yeah, I guess they just have the confidence.
Yeah, which you need to have because when you step out and when you're wearing something that's not so conventional, of course you're gonna raise some eyebrows. People are gonna wonder what are you wearing, and especially in a society that's very conservative. Sometimes when you are out of the norm, people always wonder, "Wow, he's fashionable," or and then all of these speculations follow. Why is he so fashionable? Right? But I think right now things are starting to change. And with that, I think the timeliness of your S.O.S, your stylist of sorts, is really what do we say ba? Parang it's really just on the right time. It's at the cusp of how things are changing. So when did you really start to take it seriously? Because I remember this was more of a blog rather than a business, right?
Yeah, so I started with a blog because I needed to market my services.
Okay.
So how do I do that? Of course, my work is very visual.
Yes.
So I can't anymore post my portfolio from my magazine days.
Yes.
That has aged
Okay.
along with me. So I needed fresh content. As we
Yeah.
all know, content is king. So
Yes.
I started to shoot different stylish people,
Yes.
regular people,
Yes.
just to put them on the blog and then with a short interview.
Mm.
And that's how people started to find me.
You know that's the genius thing about what you're doing. You're putting regular people. You're
Yes.
putting day to day. I mean, not day to day, everyday people who go
Yes.
to different jobs. Because once you put celebrities, parang medyo out of touch. Eh. Parang yeah, she can wear that because she's a celebrity. So for the people who aren't so into fashion, pero when you put everyday people, then it becomes very what's the word
As aspirational,
yes,
inspirational,
or I can relate to it immediately.
relatable.
Yeah, relatable
Yes,
siya
yes.
immediately. Is the blog still up?
The blog is still up, but I'm kind of ashamed to say I haven't been putting in content as regularly as I
Okay.
should.
But can we pull it up? Can we
Yeah,
look at it?
sure.
Sige, let's pull it up and look at it. So this is the Stylist of Sorts. This is where everything started, no?
Yes,
This
where
is-
everything started.
This is the genesis of Anne Bellia's becoming a proprietor. Okay, so this is Stylist of Sorts.
Yes, so I write, shoot, basically produce everything.
Okay, wow, one-man team, Anne.
Yeah, for now.
Oh, for now. Oh, ang galing, ah. So, this was started in 2014.
Yes, in
Oo.
2014. With the intention really of being my online portfolio. And also, I really enjoy doing these profiles on fashionable people
Okay.
around the Philippines. Also to showcase that to the world that we do have fashion forward individuals.
Mga very avant-garde, no?
Yeah, even though it's not probably like priority of most of us here.
Yes.
But we are in that
We're,
very into the current trends.
yes, I saw you even had that. There's an icon there of or a picture of Big Boy, and
Yes.
I saw your. I saw that. I saw your video of him showcasing all his shoe collection. Grabe.
Yeah,
No,
that was crazy.
how many shoes were there? And this is one individual that you consider to be very fashion forward.
Well, in the streetwear in the streetwear realm, he is quite known. In fact, I found out about him through my husband when we went to a sneaker expo and I saw all of his shoes displayed.
Yeah,
So I was curious, who's this guy who has all these expensive, rare
rare
pairs
nga.
of sneakers? And then I just messaged him one day asking if I could come over and do a short interview. This is actually a very quick shoot because he's a busy guy. So
Yeah, I saw this, and this is his store, no? Parang sa harap
Yes.
ata, it's sari-sari store, and then inside,
yeah, that Lourdes, that signage actually is the original signage of that sari store he used to hang out in daw. In high school. He
in high-
bought the sign. He bought the original sign.
he bought the sign.
Yes.
He bought the sign.
And
But,
brought it home.
okay, so pwede pala ito parang consultation service. So, Anne, ano ba ang definition ng streetwear? Because some people call us streetwear. But I
Yes.
always tell them, look, I just sell shirts and sweaters for now. I don't even know if we're streetwear. What's the
I
definition?
think that's categorized under streetwear, teddysage. Because well, obviously it's something that most people wear every
Yes.
day,
Uh,
and it's defined as something comfortable
okay.
and breathable, easy to wear, easy to move in. And it's really having its heyday now.
Oh, ang streetwear.
Yes, even with luxury brands like
Okay.
Louis Vuitton and Gucci have their own
Streetwear.
versions.
Wow.
Yeah, and they do collaborations with these young designers. It really is the trend. It
Mhm.
has been maybe for the past 3 years.
Okay.
Doesn't show any sign of
Slowing
Slowing
down
down.
or the bubble bursting.
yes.
Okay. Pero when you say streetwear, has the because before back in the day you just say casual. Has
Mm-hmm.
casual morphed into streetwear now, or streetwear is its own identity? Na talagang it's comfortable yet stylish. Casual kasi dati. This is all I know eh. Casual kasi dati parang shirts lang and then
Casual and
jeans.
formal lang, diba?
Yes.
Now there's so many subcategories.
Yes.
I think streetwear falls under casual wear, definitely.
Okay.
But there are instances wherein you can style something street
Mhm.
into something dressy.
Okay.
Like simply by pairing it with, heels or like a more dressy top instead of a t-shirt.
Okay, is street the new jargon, the new word for comfortable?
I think so.
Okay.
It could be.
So when you say street, basta comfortable. When you say the streetwear fused with, I'm sorry, I don't know any other category. Street fused with formal. That's already basically saying it's comfortable formal wear.
Yes, in fact, there's a term. It's called athleisure.
Wow.
So athleisure is wearing sports wear.
Mhm.
Like right now, I'm wearing track pants with
Yes.
something more dressy. Like earlier, I was wearing sandals with it.
Okay.
And a sweater.
Is this the Ivy Park of Beyonce? Parang athleisure? Because there's Ivy Park ata. Beyonce had a brand.
Maybe.
So that's athleisure.
Yeah, athleisure is really merging sportswear with something more luxurious.
Wow.
And it's like wearing something sporty but not really going to the gym. It's more for fashion.
Wow. Okay. You learn something new every day. I didn't even know that. So you can wear gym clothes now and not go to the gym.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
For sure.
Okay. Because,
Actually, a lot of moms I know are in yoga clothes the whole day.
but they don't do
Step in
yoga.
the mat.
Okay. So athleisure. Okay. Do you talk about certain modifications in fashion or certain what do you call this? How the evolution of fashion on your blog post?
Well, not really delving into it,
Mhm.
but I do have a workshop module wherein I discuss a little bit of the evolution. That's in the corporate wear. So I had to showcase how the corporate wear has evolved.
So the companies who ask you to do these para modular classes ba,
Yeah.
what's the primary goal for their employees?
The primary goal is to basically teach their employees the proper
Attire.
and grooming
Mm,
that they have to
the
they have to be presenting
the way they
every
should
day.
conduct themselves in the
Yes.
in the
But
workplace.
it's more really on the physical aspect because a lot of them face, let's say, the executives, the CEOs. So these companies want their employees to look presentable
Okay,
at all times. Of course, because they're representing the brand, which is
That's true.
which is so important.
yes.
So I'm there to fix the outer appearance.
The outer shell,
The
so
outer
the
shell.
inner beauty comes out, no?
Of course.
Yes. But what's the most common problem now with the corporate scene now that you're being hired? There must be some issues on some level with the corporate scene.
Yeah, well, the issues normally start with them not knowing their body type, which is actually the foundation of how you should dress.
So
you have to be honest with yourself.
Okay,
Am I
okay.
on the heavy side? Am I like shapeless, no curves? So that's something that you need to know from the start so that
from the
you'll know really
start.
how to
Okay.
go about dressing yourself and looking your
Okay.
best.
But what's the most common issue? Well, I get what you're saying. You have to be honest with yourself. Are there a lot of people who are of a different body type and then they buy extra small?
Yeah, so fit is one of the major issues. Like
Okay.
getting the wrong fit, getting the wrong style that doesn't flatter your body type.
Okay.
Even the color
Mm-hmm.
that suits your skin tone,
Mm.
and even your haircut. So, those things are something we take for granted, but they're actually very important, especially if you want to project a certain image of
That's true.
professionalism.
I'm so happy I'm done with the entry level job that I've paid my dues and then I've gone
Yeah,
through
right?
it. I wouldn't survive. Honestly, I wouldn't survive at this day and age where everything is so technical, no?
Yes,
Especially
yes.
just when you wake up pala. Ako t-shirt lang. I'll just find a shirt and then and that's it.
Yeah, but that t-shirt choice that you made, it still represents who you are, and it's still something that
Yeah.
you want to wear personally. So it was not imposed on you,
Mhm.
and that's basically your own fashion sense.
Well, ang akin naman is functionality before
Yes.
before
That's okay also.
the appearance, before the aesthetics, because there are times when you're a startup business owner, you meet with people and then after that you have to clean the bathroom. You have to clean the floor, so there are so
You
many.
do it all.
You do it all.
Yeah, same with me. Yeah.
But I see so many guys now wearing super tight, especially guys in sales.
Okay.
Right? Is this something that is deemed as being professional once? Because I don't see. I wanted to buy a barong the other day because I was going to have a meeting.
Okay.
I couldn't find the barong that would fit me anymore because most of the barongs are actually tapered. You call it tapered? Right?
Really? Okay.
Well, I do shop in the cheapest places. I was just in market, but ang daming barong
I've
tapered
never
na.
heard of a tapered barong. That is so odd.
I'll bring you.
Okay.
I'll show it to you. Maybe I'll buy it and then I'll show it to you.
Normally, if you go to a designer and have something made, you can tell him to make it cut it closer to the body. But then I've never seen
Maybe
one
I don't.
off the rack.
I don't even know what tapered means. What is the definition of tapered?
Tapered means it's cut closer to the body.
See, yes, I'm correct.
So it's not boxy.
Yeah.
The normal barong is like,
Loose.
boxy,
Yes, that's how I remembered it.
breathable.
Yeah, all you had to do was worry about your inner shirt, right? Make sure it's still decent.
Yeah, but even though it's a boxy barong, you still
Mhm.
have to get the correct size.
You still have to get yes.
Yeah, so it cannot be too long on the sleeves.
Mhm.
The shoulders still have to be in the exact spot where it's supposed to be, depending on your
No such thing as tapered.
measurements.
No such thing as tapered barong. Kasi
No, I have yet to see.
babalik ako mamaya market
Because a
talaga.
barong is not cut like a polo shirt, right? It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be on a more loose silhouette.
Okay. And I got surprised there's so many colors now.
Oh, yeah. That has been
Oh my
around.
goodness. There are so many colors
There's
of
even
barongs now.
tie-dye sometimes.
Okay, wow. So it's constant change, no? Constant change for fashion. Okay, and then as we were talking about, 2014 is when you started S.O.S.
Yes.
S.O.S. is Stylist of Sorts. How did
yes.
what's the genesis of that name? How did you come up with the Stylist of Sorts? Because S.O.S. I like it. It screams help for people like me, diba?
Exactly.
S.O.S. So how
I
did
can't take credit for coming up with Stylist of Sorts. It's actually the idea of Robbie, a good friend of mine.
Oh, I saw Robbie actually the other day.
You know him, right?
I know
Yeah,
him,
yeah.
but he didn't remember me, and I was stressed with carrying all the baby stuff, so hindi na rin muna ako nag-hi. But I saw
shucks.
Robbie. He's the one who came up with
Yes, he's the one who came up with it because we were doing styling work before, him and I, for different clients. And then we were trying to come up with a name. And then he said, why not use Stylist of Sorts? But it never really materialized. We didn't use the official name. So when I thought of creating the blog, I used that.
the
I used his
Stylist of
idea. Yeah.
It's good. Okay lang naman. Kaka-guess lang natin kay Attorney Pasilao sa copyright. Hindi naman yan na-register eh. So, okay lang yun. Plus, you guys are good friends. Okay.
Yes, but then I will find a way to compensate him in the future.
Ayun, 50% ownership. Okay na siguro. Lester, can we move it a little bit to the left, yung Stylist of Sorts? So, I just want to see. In Stylist of Sorts, when somebody wants to hire you, this is your portfolio. This is what they look at.
Yes.
Okay, what would you prefer the clients to look at first when they pull up your Stylist of Sorts page?
Well, obviously, they will see the most current post.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they scroll down, they'll see the past shoots that I've done also.
Okay.
And then they can have an idea. I state there if it's a client who I shopped with.
Okay.
And so they can see like how the transformation came about. But normally, when clients approach me or email me, they just say that they look through the blog and they like the message that I was
conveying
in my author's page. And that is enough to convince them that, okay, this is a service that I'll benefit from.
When did you start writing, Anne? Blogging is not easy. You have.
It's not easy.
Yes.
Yes. Sometimes there are times that I can really not put sentences together.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah. So it's real. Writing, I think I really had a knack for it even in high school. Because my mom is a really good writer and she would be very strict in editing my assignments.
Okay.
And
Okay.
up to this day, she still messages me, oh, this is like the wrong...
Ang galing,
Yeah, the
That's
wrong
very-
use of the word, or you have to switch it up.
Ang
So,
galing.
she's
So-
still my editor.
Galing. Any advice for people who want to start to write? Because in this studio right now, someone wants to start to write pero really can't get it going.
Oh, reading helps. You have to read a lot. And as much as possible, if you can still read regular books, which is something I'm struggling with because of the internet. You know, we're always on our phone, we're always in the
Yes.
computer. And I can't seem to focus on finishing one whole book. But
Yes.
for me, it really makes such a difference if you are an avid reader and your use of words, your vocabulary also expands.
That's true.
and
That's
even
true.
putting sentences together.
Oo.
Yeah. So,
Very fundamental talaga ang reading.
oo.
Because, and then it'll help you with your writing.
Yes.
Kasi Lester, parang nanonood ka lang parati ng videos, nakikita mo yung mga transition, nakikita mo yung mga ginagamit ng camera, nakikita mo yung lighting, no? So, you have to read first. Alam mo, marami tayong libro dyan sa labas. Pwede namang iuwi yung iba. Okay, so writing talaga is what, it's somewhat of your first love, siguro.
Yes. I would say styling
Mhm.
is first, and then writing.
Even before writing, even when you
Yeah.
were younger, so when you were younger, as a young girl, you like to dress up.
Yeah, my first memory of styling myself was around 9 years old.
I didn't know that.
And
I
then
didn't know
from
that.
then on, I would really choose my own clothes, save my allowance to buy more clothes.
I remember. Oh, nga pala. Kaya naman pala. Because for the memory keepers and the subscribers, I've known Anne since she was in college. So now I
Yes.
remember every time we'd go out as a group. That's why you were so stylish. Because nung time ko, wala naman. T-shirt lang, jeans lang. Tapos na. That's why, Anne, you used to stand out amongst the group.
But I would also wear, our 90s uniform before. I
Ano
would
ba?
still wear that.
How would you...
Like that shirt that you're wearing is
90s.
very 90s. We had our Giordano classics, Polo, Ralph Lauren, everything.
Yes.
So I also went through that stage. I really just started experimenting maybe late college.
Okay.
After college.
After college
Yeah.
na. So now, all right, polo shirts are still very 90s, would you say?
Yeah, it's 90s, but it's also a classic.
Ah.
So actually, I think it started in the 80s with tennis players.
So,
That particular shirt.
that's true. Galing. And buti na lang, nagbasa ako ng konti before KBS with tennis players. But now, what do kids use when it's polo shirts? If polos are polo shirts, do you call it polo shirts ba? Sorry? Is that the technical term?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't really see a lot of kids wearing that particular piqué. Piqué is the material of that shirt.
Okay.
Of the Lacoste. The Lacoste
Yes.
shirts are most popular. Nowadays, they're really mostly in t-shirts and tight pants that are medyo cropped, showing off their socks, and then they wear Birkenstocks. It's the 90s all over again, but it has a more modern twist to it.
Is this the thing I see with Kanye and I'm sorry for the lack of knowledge and I just
No, you're on point because Kanye is very fashion forward, but
okay.
yeah, he's more on the casual, luxurious casual wear. Like he
Luxurious.
wears a lot of sweatshirts and sweatpants, but I think the material he uses are like really the best cotton. If not pure cotton, or there's like a mix with some other fabric, but it's a very luxe approach to streetwear. So you're not
Wow.
wrong.
I'm
He
not
is
wrong.
actually a very influential designer now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you be fashionable and be on a budget? Like
Of course. That's something I'm very passionate about.
okay.
When I meet with clients, I
Mhm.
always say you don't have to spend, $1 million to look like $1 million. It's really about putting things together
Mhm.
and being confident in what you're wearing.
What's if you were I don't even know what the ensemble is now. If you're in your early 20s or late teens, I don't even know what they look for. Pero if you want to be above the crowd, if because I know a lot of kids want that now. They want to be they want to stand out amongst their friends.
Yeah.
How much does one usually, because I see how expensive some things, some brands are, especially
Yes.
streetwear.
Yes.
Grabe, I saw shoes that are worth 300,000 pesos.
Oh my God.
I don't know who
Wow.
buys that, but there are shoes in the range now. Normal na 20,000 for shoes.
Yes, normal na. Well, if you get it in retail
Mhm.
price,
Yes.
then it's a little more reasonable. Usually less than 20 when it
Mm-mm.
releases. But then, since those are limited amounts, limited pairs, resellers buy it
Yes.
and then they sell it for so much more.
That's true. May kilala akong ganyan. Oo.
So, uso yan in the sneaker community.
In the sneaker community. But how much is a regular outfit now? I don't know how to structure this question because I know there are so many.
I think I understand
Yes.
where you're coming from. Okay, it depends on where you shop. But
Okay.
I realize that a lot of young kids now, they
Mhm.
prefer vintage.
Vintage.
So they go to ukay-ukays and then they look for something that's one of a kind.
Is this the
And-
influence of thrift shop? Who sang thrift shop again? Macklemore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry for cutting you there. Go. They go to ukay-ukays.
Yeah, and then I think that's what they do. They combine it, let's say, with pieces from Zara or H&M. Because we're talking about budget shopping
Yes,
here, right?
yes.
Yeah, so that's what they do. They go through thrift shops. It's
Mhm.
ukay-ukay is our version.
Yes.
And they're very imaginative in how they put things together. So they could have an expensive shoe, but everything else they're wearing is maybe worth 2,000 pesos lang.
Okay.
Or
so-
even less collectively.
I get it. So you have to know which part to emphasize, whether it's your shirt, your shoes, your pants, and then everything else just needs to complement.
Yeah, for me, a fashionable person is one who can wear different brands,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's SM with LV or Prada, puts it together and then looks like, themselves, like very unique way of putting things together versus, head to toe designer, which can get boring.
Okay.
So that's where you see the imagination and creativity of these fashionable people.
Thank you for saying that because now at least I understand it better. Because I was thinking before, if you're fashionable, you only wear branded clothes.
Mhm.
So now that's not the definition. The definition is that you don't have to go on fully branded. It's just you know how to complement the pieces that you're supposed to showcase.
Yes.
Okay. So what's the typical client, Anne? Ano yung typical client for Stylist of Sorts?
A typical client can be anyone, basically. I've had moms who went back to the workforce. I've had vice president of a bank who just wanted a different look. And then some are going through transitions in their lives that they just want to dispose of everything they own and start anew.
Okay.
So there's no specific profile, but
Mhm.
my market is the older
The
crowd
older crowd.
who can afford the service also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nako, eto na. How much would if someone was interested? You don't have if you don't want to give the specifics. We can just go by ballpark figure. How much would it cost if I wanted to hire Anne? And is it ano ba yung services? Is it per month? Is it per event? How does
Okay.
it go?
So I have different packages. If you just want me to go
Mm-hmm.
to your closet and edit it out and end there,
Yes.
so you can also just pay for that service. But if you want to do a whole month retainer,
Galing
which is what I recommend, so that whatever I'll teach you will stick.
Mm.
And when I set you free in the wild,
Like
you won't
this,
be lost. You know where to shop. You
Uh-huh.
you won't need me. You'll just text me if you have
Okay.
questions. But I prefer that the client takes the 1 month
1 month.
program with me. And that entails a couple of shopping trips and also
Saan naman tong shopping trips na to? Depende
sa budget.
Depende sa budget. Baka pwede market, ha? Pero I have to ask, where's the cheapest that you've got? May Divisoria ba dyan?
Haven't gone to Divisoria, but department stores.
So yung mga SM.
Yeah, SM, mostly SM, I think. Haven't
Okay.
gone to the others yet.
Are your rates in the website ba?
No,
Or
they can email me.
so you give it
Yes.
personally. They have to
Yes.
email and then you let them know the rates.
Yes.
Okay, so you're saying pwede rin by event. If there's an event, and I just need your help for one event, I'm accepting Father of the Year, mga ganyan.
Yeah, definitely. Even like for prenup shoots. So that's just one shopping trip. So that's just one day.
Okay.
And then yeah, it can even be an event, can be a
Okay.
wedding.
So for the
Party.
the subscribers and the memory keepers, marami dyan, baka malapit na ata magpakasal. If they wanted to hire your services on a prenup shoot, how much should they prepare?
Oh gosh, that's like ballpark.
Ballpark lang.
Siguro it starts at around 10K.
10,000. And then
Yeah.
what does that entail?
So that entails the shopping trip
Mm-hmm.
and then actual styling on the
Okay.
day off if they need me there.
Okay.
So I've done that before. So went to shopping and then on the day of the shoot, I was there to dress the lady for her shoot.
Do they need to let you know what's the duration? Should they let you know 2 weeks ahead of time, or can you just be contacted a day or 2 days before, and then
Well, ideally a week before would be good, so I can do a bit of research on them and their personality, and
Gan-
look through their social media. If I don't know them personally, but there have been incidents where it was kind of rushed,
how rushed are we talking about here?
maybe like a few days before.
So a few days pa rin. Hindi naman like a few hours. So and I already need you.
Wala naman.
You would turn down a proposition like that that's only a few hours. Will it because I'm sure you're also thinking of your professional reputation.
Yes, of
Oo.
course. Well, it depends. If she's an old client and I know her well, I know her style and her body type, we can do it biglaan.
Oo.
Immediately.
Pero pag walk-in at nakita ka lang, Stylist of Sorts
Wala pa
online.
naman. Because normally, it's really a whole process.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't jump into the shopping right away.
Okay.
So, I'm like a shrink. I talk to them. I ask them, oh, what are your body issues? What are you... How's your life now? What's your day-to-day?
You know, back in the day, I just put on a shirt, tapos na eh. You know how I used to shop? Before teddysage, of course, Lester, before teddysage. How I used to shop, I'll only buy 2 colors and then I'll buy several numbers of those of the colors.
Oh, yeah. I know people who do shop that way and dress that way. In fact, a lot of designers, as in world-famous designers, have a uniform. And they're always just in the black shirt and jeans.
So, Anne, going back to Stylist of Sorts, right now you're saying that your regular clientele are mostly at what demographic, at what age?
Mostly in their 30s up.
30s.
And they're working.
Okay. So the consultation mostly is on what to wear when they go to work, or what to wear when they have events, usually.
Yes.
Okay. To the memory keepers and the subscribers, as long as it's fashion, as long as you don't know what to wear, as long as you're confused where to buy, you're confused on what mall to go to, S.O.S is definitely a place or one of the businesses that you can consult with.
Yes.
So, Anne, if they want to consult with you, how do they go about it?
Well, they can go to my blog. All the information is there. And they can follow me also on Instagram.
Which would you prefer? If someone was going to ask specific questions, there's an email ba to your blog?
Stylist of Sorts at gmail.com.
Okay.
And but a lot of them just send me direct messages also in Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which will get a faster reply?
Any. Yes,
Okay.
I'm always online.
You're always on
Available. Always
galing,
available.
galing. Okay. So it's Instagram. On Instagram, it's
Stylist of Sorts.
That's no space, no?
No space. And my Gmail, my email is also the same. Stylistofsorts at gmail.com.
At gmail.com. What part of the year na medyo mahirap ka na ma-hire at sobrang busy ka so that they know Baka meron kasi nagpaplano na ng wedding at December. Kailan ka ba sobrang booked na? When's a good time to approach you?
I just need a lead time of maybe a week.
A week.
Because I also do other things apart from
So-
shopping eh. So I have my other commitments.
Okay.
And normally I start off the month open
Mhm.
and then it just fills up as the weeks go. So I would just need that 1 week lead time for
Okay.
us to meet, and then we can plan the shopping trips around it.
And are you open if we do an experimental? If we have someone here that you'll curate his fashion.
Yes, of course.
Oh, because our studio is very malleable naman to. We can pull out the table. We can just we
For
can do
sure,
that.
for sure.
Kita mo, ang bilis ng idea ko. I think very fast. So we can experiment on something like that.
Yes, of course. We can bring in a bunch of clothes here, and then I can dress up,
Yeah.
people with different body types, and then we can.
Oy,
discuss
pwede
it.
yun.
It's actually something that I've also been wanting to do.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
We can do that. And then that's actually very interesting content. It's the first teddysage Stylist of Sorts collaboration. Right? That's definitely something. And I'm serious.
For sure.
Okay.
We can get brands on board even for this, diba?
Wow.
As
Wow.
a
And then
cross-marketing thing.
galing. Then just leave the clothes here, huh? Okay. So that's
Depende.
Depende. Well, you can forget and not bring them. Okay. So that's already been an hour.
Yes.
Wow, already.
Yes, already been an hour. And
Went fast. It went so fast.
I know. Ganyan talaga. Minsan ka umaabot kami ng 2 hours. Hindi na namin ma-export yung video. Okay. So, Anne, thank you very much
Thank you, Pao.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Lester, for
Thank
having
you.
me.
I
It's
hope-
so much fun.
I
It's
hope-
my first.
First podcast.
Podcast, yes.
Wow. Galing, ah. I hope it won't be the last. I hope we can still come back and we can do that collaboration.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Just let me know.
We will let you know. So thank you very much,
Thank
Anne.
you.
Anne of Stylist of Sorts. Okay, someone please take me home. If you say go home, ayoko
Let's
okay.
go.
All right. So we'll look at camera 1 and we'll close. Spill the beans.
Okay, so Anne, thank you for coming here in our Spill the Beans podcast.
Mhm.
Memory
Thank you.
Keepers, I hope nagustuhan niyo yung episode na to, and if you have any question, pwede niyong sendan ng message si Anne sa Gmail niya or Instagram.
Ang galing ng English mo, naintindihan ko talaga.
Yes. So, sa
Okay.
mga nanonood pa, thank you for watching.
Thank
and
you.
See you on the
Thank
next
you for watching.
podcast.
Thank you. See you guys on the next episode. Bye.